भाजी पण छान आहे मार्केटमध्ये. Okay, sorry guys, there was some technical problem, so the system was logged out. Okay, now we have 19 people, so without wasting much time, I'll just start with the class. Good afternoon, everyone. So in the previous class, if you remember, in HR analytics, we started with the wave, okay, third wave of value creation, where we studied what is the third wave and how do we create value for the organization, how do we market value for the organization. Okay, so that is what we studied in the previous class. Okay, we are just continuing with the next part. So I'll be sharing my screen now. Just hold on. Okay, guys, is the screen visible? Okay,
No, sir.
no, are
No,
you?
No,
sir.
sir.
No, can you see it now? Just check.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Visible
Okay.
now.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So yes, in the previous class, if you remember, we had completed this. That is the third wave of value creation, where we studied what is lead the value. That is the initial phase of value creation. Then how do we manage it, and then how do we market it. So I hope you're clear with all these three levels. Okay, that we studied under the third wave, and we studied it in detail also, like what is lead the value, then what is manage the value, and what is market the value. Okay, now we're going to go ahead with the next part. Okay, that is valuing HR analytics in organizational system. Okay, that is how do we value an HR analytics in an organizational system, what is the current situation of HR analytics in an organization, and what would be the future value to HR analytics in the organizational system. Okay, so let's understand this. Okay, this is a completely theoretical part, like it's kind of an essay. When you write an essay, if I ask you to write, okay, what is the current and the future position of HR analytics in the organization, so it is something like this. So I'm just going to give you certain points so that you remember, and how you can write brief answer on this particular value of HR analytics in an organizational system. Okay, so first one is, what is the current situation? How is it working? What is happening in the organization relating to HR analytics? The current situation is, first of all, HR analytics is relatively unknown. People are not aware of this HR analytics. Okay, we have already discussed that HR analytics is a very recent field of in the field of HR. Okay, like uh, first of all, HR, what people say is it's a supporting activity. HR doesn't come under the mainstream activity. First of all, that is the mindset of the people. Okay, it's a supporting activity which supports the various other operations, whether it is finance or marketing or operations. Okay, so HR is always considered as a supporting activity. So it was not given so importance. So far also it's not given as much as importance as it deserves. Okay, so when HR itself doesn't is not valued so much, why will HR analytics be? Since HR is a supporting activity, why will people know about HR analytics? Okay, so right now HR analytics is a relatively unknown uh, field in the area of HR. Okay, people are not aware, or the organizations are still not implemented this HR analytics in full swing. Okay, then second, as I said, it is considered additional. Okay, HR department is considered as additional cost in an organization. Okay, for example, okay, if there is a small organizational setup where there are around, say, let's say 10 employees or 15 employees working, okay, there is no HR department as such. Okay, the owner himself or the partners themselves manage the entire HR activities. So whenever there is an HR department in an organization, it is normally considered as additional in terms of cost, in terms of space, in terms of recruitments, everything. When you consider HR is considered as additional cost. Okay, now when I'm saying this, okay, I'm not saying it in general for every company, understand guys. Okay, it's not for all the companies, but most of the companies feel it like that. Okay, because a general survey was done, and from that survey these interpretations are been taken out, like it is unknown area. Second is it is considered as additional. Okay, third is, okay, some people feel it is a boat that cannot be missed. Okay, that means they feel that is important, but not as an activity that adds significant value. Okay, they feel HR analytics, okay, it is important, but it may not add any significant value to my organization, is what some respondents said. Okay, so this is the current situation of HR analytics. They know the importance of it, but they feel that it will not add any value to you or to the organization, and that is the reason why it is not taken very seriously. This is the current situation that I'm talking about in terms of HR analytics. It is not known to many of the people. Second is they considered it as additional in terms of cost, in terms of area, in terms of engagements, in terms of resource allocations, etc., etc. It is considered as additional. Third is they considered it as important, but not, it may not add value to the organization, is what they say, and that is the reason why HR analytics is not taken seriously. This is the current situation. Okay, now what would happen in future? So value in future, that is in future, that is what I'm expecting is around 2025. According to the researchers also, they have said that as according to the year 2025, okay, by the year 2025, okay, HR analytics would be an established practice. Like most of the organizations who have an HR department would be following HR analytics, or would be having a separate budget, a separate laborers, okay, a separate human resource for HR analytics. Okay, that is what is been predicted by 2025. Yes, there would be some importance, or there would be an importance given to HR analytics. Second, it would proven added value. It is proven that it would add value to your organization, as it is right now said that it will not add any significant value to the organization, but that's not true. In by 2025 it would be proved that HR analytics will play a very vital role in achieving the objectives of the organization. Okay, so it would be a proven added value to the organization. It will add value to the organization, and considered as unmistakably linked in making strategic choices. Okay, it would be a major or a vital link in making strategic choices. Okay, so initially when we spoke about, see, I'm going to give you a term, can, if somebody can explain me, it would be more relevant. Okay, now normally what happens is, okay, the decisions what we make, okay, decisions are, we say it is experience based. Okay, decisions are experience based rather than data based. Can somebody tell me what this means? Decisions are normally based on experience rather than based on data in terms of HR. Can somebody explain me this? Anyone?
Sir.
Or okay, before Rohin starts, or it may be, I will term it in some other way also, experience decision making and evidence based decision making. I want you all to differentiate between these two: experienced based decision making and evidence based decision making. Yes, Rohin, go ahead.
In experience, we get the knowledge by experience ourselves. We get experience where we get the knowledge what we have felt. Whereas in data, we see the other people's collected data. We
Okay.
don't actually feel what it is, but we have that data. We visualize it कि ऐसा होता है, but we have not experienced it.
Okay. Okay. No, not exactly what I'm looking for, but good attempt. Good. Okay. Munali.
Yes, sir. So, like experiences, they have the experience, and the accurate data is collected accurately. So, experience may
No, no.
not work
I'm
every time
asking you
correctly,
all the
sir.
difference between experienced based decision making and evidence-based decision making.
So evidence like we are sure about that. We have evidence about the collected data. So
Okay.
experience may not be every time true.
Okay.
Like it may be a mistake in the experience also, sir.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Very nice. Very close to the answer. Yes. Not close to the answer, but you've almost given the answer. But a filtered one. Anybody else? Good, Mrunali. Anybody else? A difference between experience-based and evidence-based decision making. Swapnil, you want to
When
answer?
there there is a pace, so evidence is
Swapnil, not able to hear you.
validation. Listening of it to
Swapnil, I'm not at all able to hear you.
hello, hello,
Swapnil, I'm not able to hear you.
hello.
Others, can you hear Swapnil? Is he audible?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Swapnil, your voice is breaking, like only some kind of tones is what we can see here. Swapnil, if you want, you can just type it in the chat box. If you can hear me, you can just type it in the chat box and I'll just read it out for you for others. Okay. Anybody else? Dhanashree? And difference between experience based and evidence based decision making. Dhanashree, you're there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Dhanashree, can you just speak up?
So experiences like, for example, if we take one product and if we have that experience about that, uh, we can say experience is not actually true, sir. But talking about evidence, evidence is like proofs.
Okay. Okay, fine. Experience. Okay,
Sir,
Pooja has said
experience.
experience-based decision is a decision based on past experience. Okay, fair enough. Yes. Okay. So most of you are saying the same thing, right? Okay,
Yes,
experience-based
sir.
decision making is the decision which is based on certain past experiences that you had, and on the basis of that, you take certain decisions, right? Now, as even Mrunali or Dhanashree said, these decisions may not be true, may not come accurate, right? Because it is based on your experience. Now that experience may be in certain other situations, maybe the conditions were completely different in that in which you experience those things, right? So whenever you take a decisions on the basis of your past experience, those decisions may not be accurate, those decisions may not be so fruitful sometimes. Okay, sometimes it may happen like your decisions are based on experience and you do well, right? But sometimes it may not go well. So always it is preferred to take decisions based on evidence. Okay, like let us take a simple example. I guess Rohit and Swapnil would be able to help me in this. Okay, now whenever we are investing, okay, we invest in shares, right? Now when we invest in shares, on what basis do we invest? Swapnil and Rohit or anybody else who is interested in investment and who has invested can just pitch in. Okay, my question is, whenever we are investing into shares or whenever we are doing any investment, okay, on what basis do we do investments? What do we consider when we are making investments?
Sir, how beneficial it is in future?
Who is this?
Sir, this is Rangoli.
Rangoli, yes, go ahead.
Yes. So
Rangoli, go ahead.
on the basis of benefits in our future,
On the basis of benefits, okay, and how do you judge that?
sir, returns.
Very nice. You talk about now whenever you're talking about returns, that means you're talking about evidence, right?
Yes, sir.
Right, you're talking about evidence here. So most of the investment decisions are taken on the basis of evidence. Again, sometimes
Yes.
on the basis of experience, like this particular share was doing well in the past or it has done well in the past, and then on the basis of my experience that this would do well in future, I'll make that decision. But most of the times, okay, whenever an investment manager or whenever an investor makes decision, those decisions are based on facts, evidences, right? Because whenever you make a decision based on evidences, it is more accurate rather than on the basis of experience. Now, why we are talking about all these things is because whenever we talk about HR analytics, okay, earlier nowadays, so far, okay, HR decisions are taken on the basis of experience. I am a very experienced guy in HR. I know whom to select. I know whom not to select because I am an experienced guy. I know what kind of people, how they answered. That is my experience. Okay. Now, this experience may not come to my help every time. Okay. There might be some other reasons why a particular person is answering or he's behaving in a particular manner. Okay, so rather than that, if I am taking decisions or a recruitment decision based on data, evidences, okay, that decision would be more accurate. I see, okay, what he has done, I check the data, I compare the data, and then I take decisions, then my recruitment would be much better. So that would be the future. HR analytics would help you in taking accurate decisions because those decisions would be based on evidences and not only on the basis of experience. Okay, but my argument here is, can you just take decisions on only evidences? Okay, is decision making possible only through evidence, or there should be some amount of experience also which is necessary? So can we
So
directly
50
isolate?
50%.
Sorry,
So 50 50%.
maybe 50%, or maybe I can say 30-70%. Okay, 70% on the basis of the evidence, but 30% experience is required, right? Okay, so more prominence would be given for evidence, and experience will also be considered while taking an investment decision, or while taking any decision. Sorry, not investment decision, but while taking any decision. Okay, so viable addition to existing decision making tool is the last point. Okay, so that is what is going to happen to HR analytics by the year 2025. Right now, it does not have any importance, it does not have any prominence, it is not known to many people. Okay, it is considered as additional cost, so on and so forth. By the year 2025, this particular field of management or human resource management would be of great prominence, where most of your strategic decisions, most of your decisions would be based on the reports generated through HR analytics. Okay, so that is what valuing HR analytics in organizational system was. Okay, so are you clear with this particular slide that I was explaining about what is the current situation of HR analytics and what would be the future of HR analytics by the year 2025? Maybe, are you all clear with this? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
great. So I'll continue with the next part now. Okay, so next part is the HR challenges in the system. What are the challenges now? Okay, the challenges that HR analytics faces. Okay, we studied the barriers. These are the challenges that are there for HR analytics. Okay, maybe sometimes we use these words synonymously, challenges or barriers, but yes, barriers are definitely, those are the problems. Okay, here these are the challenges. Okay, there is a lot of, there is a very thin, there is a very thin line between challenges and problems. Okay, so we have to understand. So data and data variety. Okay, huge amount of data available, and data is available from different tools and different types. Okay, there is different type of data. So whenever you are making a decision using data analytics, first of all, to use data analytics, you need to have an uniform data. There should be a data of one kind, not variety of data. Okay, so that is one problem with or one challenge that uh, company would be facing, or an organizational system would be facing, to integrate all the systems, all the functions together and try to generate same amount of data or same type of data. Okay, that is one thing. So the first challenge would be data and data or variety of data. Okay, making them similar or making them usable is one thing. Second is training and mindset. Yes, we are lagging in uh, training the employees or HR departments in HR analytics. There are very less number of people who are really good in analytics, and training them or changing their mindset is very difficult. Okay, people feel that training in finance is required, training for a salesman or a sales manager is required, training for operations is required, but nobody thinks of training and HR. Okay, so that mindset has to change. That's a challenge, okay, to change the mindset of the people and make them understand that yes, training for HR people is also a must, is required, and then providing them proper training in terms of analytics. Okay, that is another challenge in terms of the organizations. Third one is biases and fear. Okay, the most important fear is when systems will take over. Okay, when the HR analytics will take over and most of the work would be done with by the systems, what would happen to the people? What would happen to the human resource? Because decisions would be on the basis of the system generated reports. The decisions would be based on, or sometimes the system itself will make decisions. So what will happen to the human resource? So that is the fear and that is the bias. Because of that particular bias, that particular fear, people are biased about this. Okay, so they are not ready to accept it because of the fear of losing jobs or fear of systems taking over the human intelligence. Okay, that is what is the third point. That is one challenge that yes, we have to uh, train the employees in a proper way and tell them that this is not going to happen. Okay, human resource or human element would be still a very important part of any organization. Okay, the systems cannot completely transform it or completely replace human beings. Okay, it's not possible. At least we don't see it in the near future. We are not I cannot really talk about 2035 or 2040 or 2050 as it is been predicted that most of the things would be done by robots, or you call it them as humanoids. Okay, so that we can talk about it later. Right now, yes, that fear of losing jobs has to be removed because systems are to be developed and these development of these systems would be done by human resource itself. Okay, so that is one thing. Next one is curating of data. Curating of data is nothing but okay, organizing of data. Huge amount of data is available. There are people to analyze the data, fair enough, but is there anyone to organize the data? That is the most important challenge, because as the first point says, data is available from variety of sources, different forms of data are available, different formats of data is available, but getting the data, organizing it properly, eliminating the data which is not useful, and taking only the useful data or creating only a database with useful information is what curating of data is. That is another challenge, because as we have already discussed in the previous classes, there is no standardization in HR. Okay, HR reporting, HR uh, uh, analysis or HR sheets are not standardized at all. It depends on who is doing it. So as per my choice, I'll prepare my own data sheet. Somebody else will prepare data sheet on his or her own choice. Okay, so there is no standardization, and that is the reason why curating of data becomes very important. Cleaning of data, organizing of data, this becomes very important. Okay, that is another challenge that yes, has to be addressed by the organizations. And last one is privacy and compliance. Yes, privacy of data, because this data is related to humans. Okay, so getting personal information of your employees or somebody else's employees would put you into trouble sometimes. Okay, because those are personal information which cannot be used. Okay, so lots of privacy issues, compliance issues come, and which has to be solved by the organization in order to ensure that HR analytics is properly implemented in your organization. Okay, so that is another issue of privacy and compliance of the data. Okay, because when you talk about HR analytics, I'm repeating, when you talk about HR analytics, it is the data related to human resource, which most of the times is personal data. And if you're using that personal data, and okay, if something goes wrong, okay, so you may have to face legal issues, okay, or privacy issues. So that is another challenge that the systems have to uh, manage. to properly implement the HR analytics. So these are the 5 challenges that are there right now, which has to be resolved to make sure that HR analytics is properly implemented in a particular organization. Okay, which is maybe related to data, related to the training the employees, related to the fear that they have, psychological uh, impact, or the data, organizing the data, or it may be related to privacy or compliance issues. Okay, so these are the various challenges. Okay, we are left with 7 minutes, guys. I'll just wait here for another 30 seconds. If you have any doubts in any of these 5 points, please be quick in asking those things. If you're clear, give a thumbs up so that I can go ahead with the next part. Yes, guys, it's clear. Okay, yes. So let's move on to the next part. Guys, I hope the screen is visible to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
thank you. Okay, yeah. So the last part that I'll be covering today is HR measurement. Okay, this is called as the wall of this the wall that you see. Okay, that is a problem. Okay, now what is this HR measurement? Okay, here basically I'm talking about the journey of HR analytics. Fine. Initially, okay, when you see the x-axis is the time, how analytics has matured, and the y-axis talks about how it has added value to the organization. Okay, so first it started with ad hoc measures, okay, in HR. So there was nothing standard so far. Also there is no standards as per when you compare it with other fields of management. Okay, so ad hoc HR measures were considered. Okay, then came the benchmarks. They started benchmarking. People started benchmarking their practices or procedure with some uh, successful organization. So that happened. Then came the data and systems and portals, okay, where you could manage your HR data using the systems. Okay, so there came the use of computers for managing your HR data. Then came your scorecards and drill downs. Okay, so I'll be talking about drill downs in a on a later stage. Okay, right now scorecards is basically your performance. It measures your performance, okay, in terms of your training provided, in terms of your uh, goal achievement and so on. Okay, that is your scorecards. Fine, but there is a wall between all these things and the next part, that is the most important part. So right now whatever is done is just the descriptive analysis. What is happening, okay, what is the current situation is what we study in analytics. That is what it is. But the future would be, yes, we are going to go for correlation to find out the relationship between the two variables. Okay, root cause analysis, we are going to go to the bottom and find out what is the exact cause for a particular problem, or for a particular issue. Okay, that is your predictive analysis and your prescriptive analytics. That, so right now it is descriptive. We are going to go ahead with predictive and prescriptive. So the wall breaks and we go ahead. Okay, it's happening now. Okay, it's not that it is going to happen in future, but now the ball is broken, and now we are doing correlation, root cause analysis. We are trying to forecast, though a smaller extent. Okay, as I said, it's not been implemented everywhere, at a smaller scale, but yes, this is what is happening in HR analytics now. Forecasting is done, and then we talk about optimization. That is reducing cost, increasing the quality. Okay, that is what optimization talks about. So this is what your HR measurement talks about. What does it measure? Right now it is descriptive, and or in the past it was only descriptive. Now we have started with predictive and prescriptive analysis. Okay, so that is what is been measured using HR analytics. So this is what HR management or HR measurement maturity cycle talks about. Okay, or sometimes it is also called as the wall of HR measurement, the wall in HR measurement. Okay, so this is what the wall in HR measurement is, or HR measurement is all about. Any doubts in this particular graph, you are free to ask. We are left with just 2 minutes, guys, 2.5 minutes around. Any doubts here? Because I'm done. I'm not going to go ahead because the next part is completely different. Okay, so I don't want to just start it and then stop it at in between, because left with only hardly 2 minutes. So if there are any doubts in this particular slide, this particular graph, you're free to ask. Rangoli, no doubts. Okay. Anybody else? Anything? Okay, I'll stop the slide sharing. Okay. And then maybe you can ask the doubts if you have any. I'm still there. We are left with 1 minute, 1+ minute. So I'll be there for another a minute. So if you have any doubts, please feel free to ask those doubts. Anyone? So are you clear with whatever was taught today?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
starting from
Yes, sir.
we started with the value of HR in the organization system to the challenges and to the HR measurement. So everybody is clear with all these 3 points.
Yes, sir.
If yes, give a thumbs up. I'll stop the meeting.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, so we'll stop the meeting for today. In the next class, we'll talk about HR maturity. What are the levels of maturity of HR? That is what I spoke about, from descriptive to predictive and prescriptive. So we are going to talk about that, and then we go with lean manufacturing, or what is lean and how HR and lean are related to each other, and then what is Six Sigma and all those things. Okay. So thank you one and all. Have a good day. We'll meet tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.